Recording in progress.
Has it started?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Holia and this is my sister Shay, and we're jumping on today to share an important message and some inspiration to join us for a powerful meditation on the 8th of the 8th, the Lionsgate. And Shay is going to share a little bit more about that. We can see there's quite a few different timelines that are playing out at this time, and the lower frequency timeline kind of feels like it's really dropped in the last nearly month now. That's how I've been feeling it, at least. And yeah, it just feels like the Lionsgate, if we can all come together and meditate and bring in that higher frequency again to hopefully shift the timeline to the more positive higher frequency timeline. That's my interpretation, but Shay's got a lot more to share with you. So yeah, thanks for jumping on, and tell us a little bit about the Lionsgate, Shay.
Yeah, so the Lionsgate is an ascension gate. So there's a portal that opens on the 26th of July, but the peak of that portal is the 8th of the 8th, so the spirit realm. So at the moment, the spirit realm, when we look back to the Mayans and Aztecs, they would always talk about this time being our ascension for the collective. There's so much that I can say about this, but it's always, the ascension is always where we as a collective humanity are able to lift ourselves up closer to the spirit realm. So our vibration is supposed to be lifted higher in closer contact with the spirit realm. And as we lift up closer to the spirit realm, the spirit realm is able to move down in on us. So even when we think of something like channeling, like people that channel, to be able to channel the spirit realm, the person has to have their vibration really, really high, because that spirit realm is such a high frequency. If our frequency was too low, we could never actually be able to communicate with the spirit realm. So this time in history is actually the biggest, most powerful time in all of recorded history, like where we are now. And so yeah, since the beginning of time that humans have been talking really about or sharing, this time is always the time where they would be talking about the return to the age of Aquarius. And so on a big level, it's the most incredible time to be alive, even though it really doesn't in some ways seem like that. And I know even in Richard Rudd's meditations, he will talk about all the greatest souls were lining up to be part of this one. And you wouldn't want to miss this, because it's a theater where we're in the theater, we're in the movie, and we're all playing our role. But as we move closer to the spirit realm, it's not the spirit realm and our vibration comes up to that. We've also got beings from all over the galaxy that aren't just necessarily benevolent or good. So we have assisters of the highest, purest vibration of light to assist us, and many of us are in a body now that have come from other star planets to be part of this great change. And we've also got a lot of spirits from our star planets that are up there assisting us for this great change and for this ascension. But we also have beings in planets that are not so benevolent at all, and they never, even since Atlantis, some of them have not seen the beings of Earth. They've sort of seen them as mortals compared to seeing themselves as gods or above, and for that reason they don't really mind about tampering and messing around with humans and using them as science experiments. But this time was always predicted to be the greatest ascension of humanity, where we liberate ourselves into freedom. And we have so much build up. We have all the greatest teachings from Buddhist teachings and Christ teachings, and a lot of those teachings have been corrupted. But we have that vibration here on Earth now in the purest form, not the corrupt form. We have that assisting us. So we have the Buddhist teachings and the true meaning of them, and the Jesus teachings and the Christ teachings of the highest vibration, and we have all of that here, and the alchemy of the highest, purest vibration. But we also have the corruptness of everything that needs to be purged. And so this, in a big way, this is it. In the beginning of time, I see it that, the soul was pure, and we all come from the same light of love in the beginning. Even all the beings from other star planets all through the galaxy, we all were birthed in this moment from consciousness of light and love, and we were all pure. So this is the purity of the true essence of a soul, the soul of the collective, of everywhere. It's the pure soul is pure, and it's whole, and it can be nothing other than absolute love and light of the highest vibration. But if we just stayed there, we would never experience ourselves in the galaxy. So it's sort of like when you think about a movie coming on the movie screen, and you're watching a movie and there's so much drama in it, and you think, but it always, like, if it never began, there would never have been a movie to begin with. So they have to make it really dramatic, and so in the last epoch, so even though the absolute soul is pure light and love and whole in purity of absolute integrity of love and light, the incarnating essence, I'm not going to call it the incarnating soul, but I guess, just for words, the incarnating soul, or the egoic soul, has its fractures, because we've come from so many incarnations and we've experienced ourselves. So we've developed a lot of skills in other incarnations, in this planet or any other planet, a lot of skills, but we've also developed a lot of traumas. And in the last epoch, we were, as the collective, like the average, we were the furthest away from our true essence of our soul. So the incarnating collective soul was really far away from its truth of purity. And then we're making our journey back now, but the journey back is much quicker. The journey away went for right away, and the journey back is supposed to be quicker. But this is our biggest challenging point now, because we are meeting up now to the realms of this higher realm, but we're touching beings of both purity and of non-purity. And if we have personal wounds and fractures that were not healed, we can be hijacked and corrupted. And so this Lionsgate is the portal to the galactic center of the heart. It's a connection to the Star of Sirius, and it's a connection back to our heart. And when we can do this meditation on Sunday, we can see our spinal column, which is the highway for ascension, coming from the earth below us, from Earth's core, and coming through the spinal column as light, and going up through the crown of our head, and ascending up to the heavens but it has to be with the intention of only meeting highest vibrations of love and light when we're ascending up. And we have to set really firm prayers around that. So the other thing, though, that for me is really important is non-benevolent beings that are hijacking, they are wiser and more powerful than us at the third eye. The third eye is an interesting one that's, we use it as a protection, but it's also been hijacked and corrupted. And that's because some beings that are not benevolent are more powerful than us at the third eye in many, many ways, because they've got a full view of the picture, and we don't when we're here. Usually we're very, we're not seeing it all, and they see it all. They're like, they can be up there tampering with us and doing whatever they want, and they are more powerful there. But we're the most, so we always think of the crown chakra as being the highest, purest vibrational chakra, and it is, in a way, it's definitely the highest vibration, but it's not the most sophisticated chakra, and in all of its, when it's in its purity, and Beatrice has always explained this to me, but when we're here on earth, our strongest weapon of love is the heart, and it's the human heart, and it can, but it needs, connection, and it needs to be, though, held in the heart after the journey's already been through the crown of purity, of aligning only with beings of the highest, purest vibration of love. After the journey's been done all the way through, then we come back at the heart, and then the heart's the purest. So for me, this meditation, when I visualized this, I got sort of downloaded that I needed to do rose quartz crystals, because anyway, I won't go into that whole lucid dreaming and things like that, but
you had this download probably about a year ago about the rose quartz spheres.
Yeah, it would have been like the beginning of last year that I had this vivid, I don't know if I'll call it a dream, it's more like when I astral travel and experience that I was working on this grid with, and Beatrice next to me, which she'd said that I'm always next to her, but I turned to her and I said, we can't use the pyramids anymore. And she's like, but the pyramids we used. And I was like, the grid was and I said, no, but now they're being hijacked, and they're turned upside down or crushed, and they're broken. I said, now it needs to be a rose quartz sphere. And I was really definite about it. And then not long ago, a little while ago, I had another one, but this one was a worse one. And then when I woke up from that, I actually was like, we need to get rose quartz spheres. It's time, and they need to be solid. They encompass the heart, they encapsulate the heart, and they also they're the circle, so it's the full completion of the teachings, the proper teachings of the Christ and consciousness, and the proper teachings of the Buddha way, and all of the Taoist way, and all of it is encapsulated into its real meaning, into this sphere. And where no matter which way we turn a sphere, it can't be hijacked. And the universe, like every cell of our body, every grain of sand, is the entire universe is within that. We're a mirror, we're a little mirror in every cell of our body of the entire universe. And we inside of our body have memory and knowing of everything since the beginning of creation. And we know, we even are aware of the planets that haven't even been discovered by science now. Everything is in us already. And so, but at the moment, the cells are being hijacked as well by this vaccination, and they're being...
Oh, not allowed to say that word online.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Get me shadow banned again.
So, and because normally it's working, the cells, because they are the entire universe, in our galaxy, things move in sacred geometry, and everything within a cell and even water structure is supposed to be reflecting sacred geometry, because it's reflecting the universe. And then now it's being compromised and it's out of whack. And so as well as this, what I saw with the rose quartz sphere is I saw that we need to imagine that we're encapsulated, each cell of our body is encapsulated in a rose quartz sphere, and then our entire body is encapsulated in a rose quartz sphere. And then I spread the sphere out in my meditation, my visualization. I spread it out and put Polya in it, and then I spread it out and put this area that I live in it, and then I spread it out further and go to this state, and then we spread it out further and go to the country, and then we spread it out further and go to the world and the earth, and we encapsulate earth in our visualization. We encapsulate the whole of Gaia being encapsulated in this rose quartz sphere of love and unconditional love and light, and it's in there. So so when
the 8th of the 8th,
the 8th of the 8th, it just depends on your time zone.
That's right.
So it depends on our time zone, like which time zone you're in. You can try to go for the 8th of the 8th at 8 p.m. on your own time zone,
We're going to be meditating at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and I might put that in the notes.
Yeah.
If you want to join. So yeah, if you do have a rose quartz sphere, that would be amazing, but perhaps a clear quartz could be programmed as unconditional love. But Shay doesn't feel like any other stones really would cut it. If you don't have clear quartz or rose quartz, just visualize that you have one. I do have a few left on my website. I did buy a whole heap of these for this meditation.
Malachite could work.
Malachite could work. I haven't seen a malachite sphere before. Perhaps you might have a malachite sphere, but you're probably more likely to have a rose quartz or a clear quartz.
Jade.
Oh yeah, jade. Oh yeah, the green. So the greens
Yeah, and
could
emeralds.
work. Yeah, yeah, green.
Who
agate.
has an emerald sphere? That's
Don't know if you want to be burying that in the earth. So we're going to be burying them into the earth, right? So we're going to be charging them, and then you said about the meditation, activating the heart and then bringing it up.
Yeah, so the intention first has to be firmly like your own prayer that really resonates, that you're only inviting into your space love and light of the highest, purest vibrational frequency. And then imagine from Earth's center, the center of Gaia, moving this white light's moving up through Gaia. It's coming up through your the base of your spine. It's moving the whole way through your spinal column, coming out of the crown of your head, and it's only love and light, and it's reaching right up into the heavens. And then after that, start to come back to your heart, bring it back to your heart. See the heart being encapsulated in a rose quartz sphere, and then move it out further into your, like, more of your body, and then encapsulating your whole body, and then encapsulating if there's a person next to you, and encapsulating your little town of wherever you live on the world and the globe, and then encapsulating.
Feels like it's kind of spiraling as it goes out too.
Further and further, until eventually you end up with the whole of Gaia encapsulated into a rose quartz crystal of love. But the intention the whole way through while you're meditating is love and light in the highest vibration, only purity, and so the prayer set around that. So you can sage a lot before that with the same intention. Like the prayer can be done where we bury it the day before and then bury it with that intention, and then the actual meditation is what we'll do where we activate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Or you could bury it after the meditation.
Yeah, maybe both. I think maybe both. If you said a prayer while you're burying it the night before, so it spends some time in earth, and then we do the meditation, and then you bury it again that night back in with that vibration and that intention, and bury it back down into earth that night.
Yeah, and then leaving it afterwards.
Yeah.
And then you can use your intention to keep activating it. It's nice.
It's up until the 12th. You could even leave it if you've got somewhere safe to bury it. You could leave it until the 12th. You could leave it for good, or you could leave it until the 12th.
I feel like for me personally, it feels nice to leave it for good, and then anytime I start to be put off at center and go into fear and feel a bit overwhelmed with what's going on in the world, I could bring my focus back to where that physical sphere is buried into the earth and reactivate it again. And I feel like that would be a really strong practice for myself, because it is physically there, and I can reactivate it. And then that's also giving me, I feel like at this time, the more I can focus on raising my vibration and focusing on solutions, like this kind of thing is a solution to me, where we're activating another timeline, or, you know, raising our frequency so that the evil things don't continue to play out that are playing out. It just feels to me like, it feels like a really solid practice. So I think I'll bury mine and leave it buried. Yeah, that feels really nice. And the other thing I was just thinking, when you said the portal opened, I've been feeling that all week, like this is a portal, but I didn't know. I thought it was just the 8th, the 8th was the day. I didn't actually know that it was a portal.
Yeah, the portal.
Because that for me started on Tuesday, which I think was the 26th. And when I look back at the Schumann resonance, it blacked out that day. It was the day I was meant to do a Cambo ceremony, that my mum's dog died, and then since then I've had a bit of a head cold, and I've just felt like I'm in this portal. So it'd be interesting. I'm pretty sure the 26th was, the Tuesday. So, yeah, there you go. Cool. Nice to have solutions, and nice to all just bring the conscious community together all around the globe. And, you know, we can feel really isolated and alone and overwhelmed with everything that's going on in the world. So yeah, nice to all come together on this special day and raise our frequency and meditate and send that unconditional love around the earth. Yeah, thank you. Anything else you want to share?
No.
It's a new moon as well, actually.
Yes, it's a new moon.
Sunday, my favourite day of the week.
Sunday.
Plus it's a new moon, and it's the 8th of the 8th, and 8. I know Lee Harris was saying something about the 8-8.
Yeah, because
on something I was watching last night. And I was born in 1988, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, because the 8, I mean, 8's always been symbolic of infinity, and it's the infinity shape of infinity and eternity and knowing our immortality. But yeah, because it also falls on the on the new moon, which is really rare to.
In itself.
Yeah, and the new moon, because that means when it's new moon, it's double Leo. So we've got the sun and moon in Leo, and Leo's personal empowerment, but this is a collective journey now. This is a collective healing of humanity. But when the sun is in Leo, the earth is in Aquarius. So the earth is in Aquarius, like earth is in the collective. She's the wanting collective consciousness to rise, because that's where the earth sign will be that day. Earth will be in Aquarius, and in the energy of Aquarius, and Leo's always our access to our own personal truths and our personal power. And we need to personally empower ourselves right now, because if you don't, I was reading this Pisces karmic thing before, and it's like not many have the courage to go into with compassion into feeling a soul of people on earth, thinking that they're dreaming that they're just dying bags of flesh without realizing they're a spirit. And those that courageously go there will sure feel into the suffering. And we think this is why it's a portal for the spirit realm too, because we've forgotten that whole patriarchal civilization that we just went through, and where Earth's been in patriarchal rulership and alignment for a very long thousands of years. That whole time we forgot the magic. We forgot that we were spirits. Anyone that didn't forget all the witches and stuff, we know they got burnt every single time because they knew higher truths. And so and the magic left Earth, and it's time that the magic returns to Earth, because because that's what was sucked from us, because that is our power. When we know that we're divine spirit, like we have so much more power. But at the moment, people are just thinking they're in the deepest states of fear, because they're just thinking that they're bodies of flesh that aren't spiritual. And it's the biggest crime. It's the biggest of the crimes, and that's when you open yourself up to be hijacked by beings that aren't pure, is when you think that you're just a bag of flesh in fear. And we can see that happening a lot. The divide in society, and personal empowerment, stepping into making the changes that we want to see in the world, whether that's in our mind and with our energy, and then that ripples out into society. So many people are waking up and are reconnecting back to their spirit. There's a lot of people that are tapping out as well. They're choosing to leave this earthly plane, that this shift is too much for them, so they're tapping out. Yeah, and I've been waiting since I was born for people to hurry up and realise that they're a spirit. Anyway, so I'm super happy that people are starting to wake up, because it's starting to drive me crazy. A couple of years ago, I was like, oh wow, totally, we're still doing this. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah, because the last epoch, as well as the magic being taken from us, like not remembering who we are, we built an entire civilization based on our shadows, and all of the shadows come from a fear of death, and we just built an entire reality based on fear of death. And this time it's this next epoch is supposed to be building a reality based on our gifts.
Yeah. That resonates.
So,
yeah.
So we're ready.
All right. Cool. We'll sign off then. Thank you. So we'll see you, we'll feel you in spirit on the 8th of the 8th at either 8 p.m. your local time or 4 p.m. and if you're in Australian Eastern Standard Time. What's that? That would be 2 p.m. in WA. Yeah, 2 hours behind. Yeah, 2 p.m. on the 8th of the 8th for the WA crew. Reach out if you've got any questions. I'll put Shay's Instagram in the description so you can reach out to her. Love, all the love. Let's shift these timelines and create the new Earth.
Recording stopped.
And how do I get off here? I don't know how to stop it without